This podcast contains an English accent that most of our Irish listeners will find offensive. Also, there may be some colourful language that you're going to find less offensive. Now, over to Ryan and Leon. Enjoy the podcast.
What you imagine your life would have been like had you not discovered art and creativity, and if there's a specific moment in your lives you can pinpoint where art really has mattered to you and made a difference for you.
Well, I think it would be back when I started acting in Chicago. I wasn't very good, and I remember my first experience on the stage. I was so bad I just walked out on the street and started walking. And I walked for a couple of hours, and I realized I'd walked the wrong direction. Not just the wrong direction in terms of where I live, but the wrong direction in terms of a desire to stay alive. And so this may be a little bit not completely true, but it's pretty true that I walked. I then thought, well, if I'm going to die where I am, I may as well just go over towards the lake. And maybe I'll float for a while after I'm dead. So I walked over towards the lake, and as I got there, I realized I'd hit Michigan Avenue. And I thought, well, Michigan Avenue, that runs north too. And so I started walking north, and I ended up in front of the Art Institute of Chicago. And I just walked inside, and I didn't feel like I had any place being there. And they used to ask you for a donation, when you walk into a museum, and I just walked right through because I was ready to die and pretty much dead. And I walked in, and there's a painting there, and I don't even know who painted it, but I think it's called the Song of the Lark, and it's a woman working in a field, and there's a sunrise behind her. And I've always loved this painting, and I saw it that day, and I just thought, well, look, there's a girl who doesn't have a whole lot of prospects, but the sun's coming up anyway, and she's got another chance at it. So I think that gave me some sort of feeling that I too am a person and get another chance every day the sun comes up.
And the weird thing, that was Bill Murray, by the way, talking about art. I found what he's talking about, the Song of the Lark, right? Let me show you this photo. I'll share it on the socials. That's what he's on about.
Oh.
So, it's basically just a woman staring into the middle distance in a field.
She's not even looking at the sun. The sun is behind her,
kind
of rising or setting. And she's just kind of staring off with a little sickle. But she's barefoot. She looks like a peasant woman, kind of.
Yeah.
Not to discriminate against peasants, but she's looking very peasantish.
Part of the peasantry.
The serfs, as the Russians call them. But
it's interesting that. I don't know what I expected.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going to get moved by a painting like that, you've got to bring a lot to it yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That probably could have been one of a billion different paintings, you know what I mean?
But you never really can plan what's going to strike a chord with you.
That is very true.
There's we listen to a piece of music and it might not. I'm sure there's people that are driving along listening and a Sabrina Carpenter song comes on and it just hits home.
Yeah. Or if you remember being a good teenager and you're in a H&M and Pink comes on and you have to leave the shop. There are certain things that we know are going to move us.
And I will run to the furthest I can.
Just a little bit's enough. Give me out. I don't want the trousers anymore.
I don't want the trousers. I don't care if they're on sale. And it's like even, you remember being 12 and fucking The Streets Dry Your Eyes came out? Dry Your Eyes, mate.
Stop.
And I remember never feeling so much emotions in my entire life than when I was 12. I probably haven't felt emotion like that ever since. You know, I'm maybe nearly mid-30s now at this stage. I just haven't had those emotions since hearing Mike Skinner say those words.
Yeah, powerful words. I did my first ever play this week.
Oh,
well, you inspired me because you did a show, didn't you, at the Seen and Heard Festival? And I was sitting on this play that I'd written called Bacon Fries for One.
Love that.
sitting on it. I submitted it for the Cork Opera House to have that box. It's called, and it's like a production that
Box of Tricks.
It's 1-for-1. It's called, where like one performer performs for one audience member, and you sit there and the actor just like performs it. So I submitted that a couple of years ago, sitting on my phone. I didn't hear back. In my head I've gone with it. I didn't hear back because I didn't submit it right. That's where my head's gone. Obviously that didn't happen.
You didn't put the date on it.
Yeah, that's the reason. Didn't sign it.
There was no return address. They couldn't post you.
Yeah. But I performed that at an event this week, and it was kind of like I was inspired by you, but also like I was watching the interview with Mike Skinner, and he's talking about like being embarrassed.
Yeah,
it was like the value of like putting yourself on stage to be like embarrassed and embarrassing, and that's kind of what I do kind of with the poems, and that you kind of like are willing to share the shit that no one else is willing to do.
Yeah.
So like Bacon Fries for one is like a bloke who's like wakes up hungover and he's buzzing about his life because he's got nothing on, and he gets to be left alone and gets to have 3 wanks in the day and no one knows. You know what I mean? Like that's how it starts, and then he kind of turns into someone who's like quite sad that he's got nothing on, and maybe he's missing out on some of the things that he wouldn't be missing out on if he didn't live such a hedonistic lifestyle. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, but really it's about a bloke who has a bag of bacon fries. So like, and that is embarrassing. That is something that you're like, oh, like what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah. It's different. But I think as well, like even you're putting yourself out there because it was obviously a solo play.
Yeah.
So like I find theatre is different to poetry. I don't know why, but I was more nervous and more embarrassed.
Shit in my pants, man.
Yeah, and I think when you wrote your play, so like which is I think can be difficult as well, but like because Sean Walsh wrote our play, I was like, if I fuck up a poem, I'll forgive myself, but if I fuck up here, Sean's not going to forgive me because I fucked up his baby, the thing that he's made, you know. So that was just an extra level. Or if I fuck up Jimbo, who was the great Jimbo's my name, Jimbo Dillon, Making Ireland Grand Again, my co-star, I was like, if I fuck up, he's standing there looking like a tick, even though he knows all his lines. So like it's exactly what you mean, like embarrassment.
Yeah.
And then, but even after the show, people come going, oh, that was great, and you're kind of going, oh, part of your brain goes, this is great, but there is a part of your brain going, oh, get away from me, like, you know.
Like that toxic poem that you do, I mean, that must feel like quite, not embarrassing, but like you're on open on stage, you know what I mean? Like this is a fucking pretty dark story, this, like.
Yeah, I think I was nervous the first time ever, and I was kind of, because it is based off a person, so I was you'd be a bit embarrassed showing a piece of yourself, but then now I get a lot of enjoyment because it starts off quite funny, and everyone's laughing, having a good time, and then it flips halfway through, and then I just watch everyone else, and then they're kind of going confused, and then they're kind of going, and then almost they get embarrassed because they're like, oh, I thought this was a funny piece. I'm laughing here. Should I be laughing? And they're kind of on their seat. I'm like, oh, now you feel embarrassed. It's like, haha, now you know. So that's kind of felt, I don't know, with that. And then the more you do it, I suppose you get less. You still get, I think, but like that whole embarrassment that he was mentioning, I think it's, you never want to fuck up or show that you'd be found out as a fraud. So, and it's like the pre-embarrassment of actually, I think if you, because, you know, we've you know yourself, we've both tripped at certain points of your poem where you blank for a second and you just do, and it's not really that bad. You're just like, take a second and go again. But before you get on the stage, you're like, if I fuck up now and I do a blank, they're all going to know that I'm just fucking making this up for the last however many years. You know?
Jeez, this is the night.
This is the night. This is the day when they find out.
Know what he's fucking talking about.
And then someone in the back's going, I fucking knew it. I knew he was only fucking pretending. And that'll carry you for the rest of your life. And that'll make you good, because that part of you, like, I remember hearing a quote, and it was, if you get nervous because you care. If you didn't give a fuck about it, you wouldn't be nervous at all. But then you'd probably be shy at it. Whereas if that little part of your brain that makes you, the adrenaline starts to go and you start to switch on, and then you get up and you kill it, and you're like, what was I nervous for? But you need that nervousness. You need that pre-embarrassment feeling where you're like, if I'm not really good here, I'm going to be really embarrassed.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Where would we be without the people that are willing to just fucking put it all on show? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But even like the line that Mike Skinner said in that interview, he goes, some people just never want to put themselves in that position. And that's pretty much what getting up on a stage is. It's embarrassing. It's one of the biggest fears people have in their life is to talk in front of people, or especially read their own work out to people. And some people just never, or there's some people that would want to do that but never can bring themselves to do that.
Weirdly enough, right, the first poem I want to share with you today is from someone who... So I was at an event organised by Luke and Drama at Corney's Pub, and it was an open mic.
Yeah.
You can do what you want, but it's organised by a drama company, so like, you know, they want drama. There was a guy who's a member of the poetry group that I am a member of as well, and this was his first time performing poetry on stage.
Oh, wow.
And he'd been a member of the group for ages, and then he was kind of building up to performing for the first time, and he messaged me a few days before, like, oh, what do you think about this? And he was there with his wife, and it was great, like,
yeah.
And he smashed it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, absolutely, which is great. And it's a funny poem, man. It's a dream cheater. And it's about how his wife got angry with him that he committed adultery, but he did it in her own dream.
Wait, what?
Because women are a bit mad, and they'll do that to you.
So he wasn't even having adulterous dreams himself. This is
no, he definitely no. It wasn't even his own dream.
So he's obviously just dreaming about football or something, and she's there he's committing adultery in her dreams.
Yeah. And the whole crowd were on board.
That's
on hanging on every line. So this is Colm Connolly with Dream Cheater.
She called me Ireland's biggest snake for all the moves I make, though I'm not even awake when I'm dream cheating. There is no right of appeal to the accusation of a touch or feel in her unreal fiction reel of me dream cheating. And it doesn't seem quite fair. She doesn't care that I wasn't there. It was still me stroking that pretty girl's hair when I was dream cheating. I'm told I looked a good stone thinner when being a saintly sinner, acting like an obnoxious winner. It seems I'm a suave dream cheater. I whined, I dined, was extra kind, didn't even seem flustered in a bind when she entered to find me merrily dream cheating. Logic and reasoning, it seems, can't be reached. My moral compass apparently breached. To all congregations, like a minister, she's preached. He's a dream cheater. Because it all happened through her eyes. I'm at a loss for alibis. All I can hear are her cries of dream cheater. She's the judge and she's the jury. Eyes blurry with scorned woman fury. The verdict concluded in a hurry. I stand a convicted dream cheater. But how could my defence have prepared for all only she has seen and heard? It's officially decreed and declared I'm a dream cheater. But my only sin was to sleep. I never even made a peep. My REM was solid and deep. Still, I'm labelled a dream cheater. As the dark night sky now turns to blue, the golden sun at the curtain shines through. I remain convicted of what I didn't do. But thank the Lord above, she can't see my dreams too.
That was Dream Cheater by Colm Connolly.
It isn't fair. She doesn't care I wasn't there. That's my favourite line of that poem.
REM is fucking REM sleeps. He's just passed out beside her, farting in his sleep, and she's
didn't make a peep.
And she's fucking fuming. Not carry into the day, I'd say, as well, you know.
Oh yeah, I'd say so.
Sourly looking at you over breakfast. You fucking know what you did.
Little bellend
you know
are.
what you did.
The neck on you. It's like Conor McGregor's sister's voice.
Yeah.
The neck on you.
You don't think about my life. Yeah, unreal. I think about that daily. I think that voice note.
Oh yeah, brilliant voice note.
The poem is brilliant. I think I like the way he keeps going. The dream cheater keeps going back to repetition of it. But we've all been victim of dream cheating, I think.
Yeah, certainly have.
Not even us doing it. We're just involved in someone else's dream. So fucking dreams are mad. But I was on my phone during the week, and I found on the internet this fucking hilarious thing. So it's a picture of a baby, and her name is Danny Greer Mulvena, and she goes, "Okay, but how does our daughter look like Woody Harrelson?" Look at this.
Yeah, spitting image, yeah.
Image of fucking Woody Harrelson.
God.
Right? And like, Woody Harrelson obviously has millions of followers, and you'd think that he wouldn't see it, but for some reason he has. And he wrote a poem.
He wrote a poem to the random.
He wrote a poem to the random.
Oh my god!
He saw the picture and he was like, and it's called, the baby's name is Cora, Cora. And
Irish.
It sounds like it, but I don't know, Mulvenna, but Mulvenna. That doesn't sound Irish.
Maybe not so much.
But Cora, Cora. Anyway, so he wrote this poem. It's like about the child, just to celebrate, you know, the funny coincidence. But it's called Ode to Cora. You're an adorable child, flattered to be compared. You have a wonderful smile. I just wish I had your hair.
Yeah.
So the woman,
he's bored as fuck, isn't he?
yeah, and the mother was like, "You've made our day." Love heart emoji.
That made your life. Imagine like Woody Harrelson.
She's like, "Can't wait to show her this when she's older. You have another fan for life." So I just thought it was really sweet, like, you know, and it's just so funny that he's fucking writing poems. But the baby, like, you'll have to put it up on the Instagram. But like, the baby is like the image of Woody Harrelson. But there's a little
your
short
mind would be blown if that happened to you. If you see that online, Woody Harrelson's responded to you with a poem.
With a fucking poem. Did I ever tell you the story of Tom Hanks and the typewriter?
Go on.
So,
and I've got a Woody Harrelson story for you after this.
I was working in a restaurant, and one of the girls there, she's a friend that lived over in New York, and she was telling me this because I love old typewriters and I, collect them. So she was telling me a story about, she's like, "Oh, you like typewriters?" My friend loves typewriters, and she was in a bidding war in New York for an auction to buy this particular, I think it was a Remington typewriter. And the prices were going up, and she was, and people were dropping off and left. And she was like, "I really wanted this," and it got to her and one other person, and she got outbid, and she didn't get the thing. She was fuming, but the other person was Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks had bought, because he loves typewriters as well. There's videos on YouTube of him showing you how to like change a typewriter spool for changing the ink. Yeah, the paint. Yeah, so, and he loves them.
There's an image of the typewriter on his novel, isn't there?
And he bought the typewriter through the auction, and she was like, "I fucking lost the thing to Tom Hanks."
Tom fucking Hanks.
But then a couple of weeks later, she gets a letter in the door, and it was a letter from Tom Hanks saying, fair, just want to say sorry about, the good competition and all, fair play, no hard done, but no hard feelings, I want to say, but just to let you know, I'm after typing this letter on the typewriter that you didn't get.
Oh no, gut check. That's harsh.
Imagine. I was like,
that's such good banter.
It's such good banter.
Such good banter, isn't it?
It's so petty. Like, I've literally typed you.
God.
You can keep the type and print from the fucking typewriter that you'll never own because it'll be mine. and then let
what a little gobshite.
Oh, it was amazing.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
What Woody Harrelson?
The Woody Harrelson story I've got for you. I watched Woody Harrelson score a penalty at Soccer Aid in I think it was 2012, 2013. It's a celebrity football match in Manchester every year where they get celebrities from all over the world to play a team of former pros and celebs from England, so England versus the rest of the world. The story with Woody Harrelson was when he realised he was going to play at Soccer Aid, he moved to London for a month, and he would turn up to the park with his football boots and join in casual games.
What?
So you would be playing, like, I think he was in Clapham Park, where every day he would show up with his football kit and he'd just go, "Is there any chance I can get a game?" So he was almost method acting the role of football player. And he'd do it every day, and he did it for like a month.
And what was he doing? Just taking a football, like a shot? Like, what was he doing for football?
Playing football. Playing football. Yeah, playing football.
It's like a charity football match.
Yeah. So the match I saw was at Old Trafford, where it all worked because he scored the winning penalty.
Did he?
Yeah. For the game.
But you'd fucking want if he's moving for a month to put the work in.
Imagine playing like casual five-a-side in the park, and then some fucking fella walks in. Can we play? Which is also weird. Like, that never really happens.
Yeah. Can I play with you guys?
It's Woody Harrelson.
Unless you're 7, like.
yeah.
And Woody Harrelson comes over to you. Imagine though, like he did that for a whole month and then he was shy.
Well, I think he didn't play. That was the whole thing.
What do you mean he didn't play?
He couldn't. I don't think he had any experience of playing football.
Oh, that
they just pick like celebrities to help raise money.
No, I know, but
Yeah,
I thought you
totally.
meant like he just went over. Imagine he was like, "Can I just watch your football match?"
No, that would be weird.
And just stood there in his
That would
football
be a lot
boots
weirder.
and his fucking football kit, just standing there watching them. I'm observing.
Absolutely mental.
But like the internet is a fucking great. I want you to read this. Right, there's a description. So I've just been something shows up on my feed. I put it into my favourites and go that I'll keep that for Wednesday when we record. So this is Tortilla Flat. It's an excerpt from John Steinbeck, who wrote Of Mice and Men. I want you to read it, right? And it's kind of like it kind of reminds me of the image that we watched or we looked at of Bill Murray, of your one.
Okay.
So read that for us.
It was purple dusk, that sweet time when the day's sleeping is over, and the evening of pleasure and conversation has not begun. The pine trees were very black against the sky, and all objects on the ground were obscured with dark, but the sky was as mournfully bright as memory. That was an excerpt from the novel Tortilla Flat by John Steinbeck.
There you go. Now, published in the 1930s.
Yeah, so it's because now like it's getting a bit brighter towards the end of the day.
You're going to start off with the grand stretch, are you?
Well, we are in the grand stretch.
We're in the grand stretch,
and it's that time where like it's like between 5 and 7.
Yeah,
where like work's done, the evening of the excitement hasn't started, so there's 2 hours of just free. It feels like a gift of time where you can actually do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
because the night's on its way.
Yeah,
so you could go to bed, you could work out, you can go for a walk, you could eat shit. It just feels like it'll be forgotten about anyway.
I think as well, like the transition period we're in now, where, as you said, the grand stretch is upon us. My brain, the way my body is in the wintertime, as soon as it starts to get dark, I shut down. I power down.
Yeah.
So during the wintertime, 4:30, I'm like, I have to get the shoes off. I have to lie back and I need to watch television. I couldn't possibly go out into the night of 5:15 in the evening. It's night time.
It's the
thick of night. The middle
of night.
The middle of the night. People are out lighting lamps and walking around in fucking nightgowns.
Yeah.
I couldn't possibly go out there. But then, like, it comes to, like, say, May, June, and you're sitting out and it's fucking 9 o'clock at night and you're sitting out in the garden just having a cup of tea, chatting. And you're like, oh, it's 9 o'clock at night and it's fucking bright out. And I don't feel tired.
No.
Not one bit. It's like a reserve. It's like the sleeping of winter.
Yeah.
The hibernation of winter, and then it's like all the energy for being out. No wonder fucking Spanish people are having dinners at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, well, you would.
Because it's hot. And it's sunny and bright and all. They're just out there fucking smoking cigarettes and looking gorgeous. The bastards.
The wankers.
The bastards. So I think, that it's them sexy night skies. Even today I was walking to the train. I was walking to the train about 5:15.
Oh yeah, nice time,
and it was starting to get a little bit chill in the air. It'd been a nice,
still out probably, a little bright.
It was a nice clear day.
Yeah.
A nice clear day means a cool evening. And I was wearing my gilet, my body warmer.
Excuse you.
And I was walking past East Point, coming out of East Wall, and I was like, "Jeez, it's a fucking lovely evening."
Jesus, a lovely old evening, isn't it?
Bit of a nip in the air, a brisk evening, but still pleasant. And I'll tell you what.
Oh, that's beautiful.
If it was winter time, it'd just be fucking dark, and I'd be tired, and I'd want to go home.
Head down.
Yeah.
Race the train station.
Fucking
don't talk to me.
Coat up over my ears. Fucking, I'd have my headphones on and my little lid.
Get it, leave me alone.
My little sensory deprivation tank. Get the fuck. He'll be coughing and sneezing at you. Do you know, being disgusting. Whereas on the dark there, people. I think someone was wearing shorts. You wouldn't even know. 3/4 lengths maybe.
Yeah.
I was in my gilet.
And you love wearing shorts, by the way.
I do love wearing shorts.
You wear shorts 9 months of the year.
I was contemplating wearing shorts here. But I thought, no, I'm wearing my business trousers.
But you're wearing Crocs as well, so.
I am wearing my Ghostbusters Crocs. Listen to this. 1 sec.
You've just pressed a button on your Crocs.
I've activated them.
You've activated your Crocs.
Yeah. course.
Some crack you're having in it, like you. Some life you've got.
And you know what? These Crocs glow in the dark as well. My dream is to be sponsored by Crocs. If Crocs people are out there, I'd love a Croc collection. But the green part,
they're cool, man.
They glow in the dark. The green part glows in the dark. It's great because I usually put them beside my bed, and if I'm coming out of the bathroom and the light's off, I know where the Crocs are, so I won't walk into them or into the bedpost. Just leave them there. It's like the safety guardrails. You're walking back into the bed.
See, now I don't think this joy that you're getting from this pair of Crocs would be appreciated or accepted in the manosphere.
No, Jesus, no.
I don't think so, man.
I don't think so, no.
This is the kind of attitude they're trying to stamp out.
They probably are, yeah. I'd be
happy with you now, getting all gooey-eyed and joyful of your fucking Ghostbusters Crocs. Because you're not making money.
Do you know what?
They're trading.
They'd probably be
shagging birds or fighting.
They'd be too annoyed that there's now a Ghostbusters movie where they're all women.
Yeah.
They'd all be fuming. They'd be like, what are they doing? Fucking
because they're the
ghosts.
Kind of ones that never saw a Ghostbusters movie but were really angry that there was one.
Some of them are fucking 23. Like, they don't even know. They couldn't even spell Ghostbusters. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, that film is...
The Louis Theroux documentary.
It's fucking mental.
Yeah. So, yeah. What's your general take? What's your hot take on... Because I don't really... I had no exposure to the manosphere. I don't really know what it is. I know there's a lot of men sharing opinions to a lot of people in videos and fake podcasts I've never heard of in studios, and that guy that was shot last year,
Charlie Kirk.
Is he?
He's a Republican.
Part of Manosphere? Maybe not. Maybe
he's
I'm talking
more
shite.
like
I actually don't know. This is the thing. This documentary is the first kind of.
So Charlie, I think with the Manosphere, it's more the danger isn't us. It's young men that are like 14, not even men, children. There's like people that are like 8 that watch some of these lads, and these lads are like, you should have multiple girlfriends, but they should all be monogamous to you. They should stay at home. You should boss them around, tell them when you want. Women are below us in society, and that's the danger. It's not us, because we're gonna go. Like, these are all fucking. First of all, they're all in their 20s, and they're all a lot of wankers. But the 13-year-olds will look at them and go, "These lads are making money. These lads have a lot of beautiful women. These lads have power, and they must be really happy." Therefore, and a lot of the men that are actually central figures in it that are all damaged. They all have no father figure. So even the men that are providing the toxic environment, they are also victims of the environment of not having a father figure. So they've become the father figure for other young men, and they're the most toxic version of what you could possibly aspire to be. So it's mad. But like, I remember have you ever watched Fight Club?
Yeah, not for ages, but yeah. No,
do you not think that there's a smell of Fight Club off Manosphere?
Like a disconnect from society for a secret way of living, but that's very like hard and underground, and it's about like put all of your frustrations into that one fight and like, don't tell anybody.
But like the thing, like if you look at like Project Mayhem, which is the overall plan that Tyler Durden kind of builds, is that like, get a lot of young men, recruit them that are all disenfranchised, that are angry young men, it kind of indoctrinate them into this way of thinking and building this project to kind of be anarchy and take down the social structures that exist within society. That's kind of like what the Manosphere is, because they're always saying, "I'll take the red pill." It's the government. Don't be paying attention to what the government and what the system tells you. Be your own man. Join us and we'll look after. We'll tell you to be the best version of yourself. But really, they're just fucking taking advantage of young people and treating them in a wrong way and making them in turn reflect toxic behaviour towards other people. So it's almost like your man Chuck Palahniuk, who wrote the book Fight Club, predicted this in a way that's like, this would happen. This is going to happen with urbanisation and the breakdown of like kind of traditional forms where misogyny is a horrible thing, and I'm treading lightly of what I say here because I don't want to say the wrong thing, but like, misogyny is a very bad thing. But traditional structures of like the men going to the factory, having families, having houses, and then that's kind of gone away now, where women work, which is a beautiful thing. It's a great thing. But in that term, it's like men have lost the structure of going off and being the man and being the... And I'm not saying that it's a good thing that they were the only sole provider. It's a good thing that women have jobs and have... But it's kind of has a knocked-on effect with this. Men are kind of a bit lost. They don't really know what they're doing at the moment. To where they're like, where's my place in the world? Because before it was fixed. And it wasn't a good thing where it's like, you go and work for fucking 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. You go to a pub. You only talk to the lads. You have all the money. The women are just like there to mind the babies. But like... You've broken a
cheat code of life where you're not expected to engage with it too much because you're the breadwinner and you don't need to.
But you know your place.
But you know your place.
It's not the right place, but you have a place and you have a thing in life where you're like, this is what I'm going to do. This is my path in life is already set for me. This is what I have to do to be a man. That has changed rapidly. It's changed for women as well. Women are now finding their place in the world and are even better at certain industries than men, or across the board. They've in business and law or whatever it is, all different industries. So their world has changed, but for the better. Whereas men, it's like our world has been turned upside down, but we don't really know where we fit in all this, and then they're kind of a bit lost. And men that don't have a male figure to go, it'll be all right. Just don't be a cunt, and just be sound, and you'll be okay. Men that don't have men to tell them that. Look on the internet now to find out and they've just found the worst people to give them advice.
Well, the advice givers are not. They're taking advantage of lost, vulnerable people, and then giving the kind of goals that hedonism does, which is like cars, money, a plethora of women, strength, ability to fight. Like these things are like if that was what life was, there would be no art for us to work this all out. If that is how simple life is, then you wouldn't be reading stuff. There wouldn't be pictures. You know what I mean? Because it would be very linear, the life that we all have.
If the manosphere existed in the dominant social structure, it would just be a lot of cocks drawn on a wall in a bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it would be. And here we have cock number 1 on bathroom stall. And we also have John is gay. And then we have his number underneath. Will gives whatever for sex. That's what the manosphere art is, and it's fucking terrible. So like, no, it's not a good thing.
But when you said earlier, right, like I've got empathy with people that are looking for direction massively. Yeah. Like, because aren't we all? Yeah. Aren't we all trying to find out, like, and men probably more so, because we can't quite grasp being around and not knowing stuff. So like, to be a man not knowing stuff is a pretty bad place to be. That is what you take advantage of. Like, these men are, the manosphere is taking advantage of men who don't know stuff. Yeah. Like, oh, well, if you don't know, then buy this thing, subscribe to this trade here, sign up to this OnlyFans model, she'll make you feel great. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of taking advantage of men that are really lost and don't know much. But you need masculine energy. Yeah. And it's good to have figures that you look up to. And there are definitely men that have come up in popular culture that I've looked up to that might be a bit manosphere-y, but I've gotten a lot of value from. Like Jordan Peterson's a great example of someone who I was kind of... I was taking advantage of 100% because I was in a lost place, and all of a sudden I find these like seminars on YouTube that I'm like, oh fucking hell, this. So what, like, make sure you tidy your room. Okay, great, I can do that. Like, make sure that you pick a room in your house and make it beautiful. Okay, I can do that. Take advantage of opportunity when it comes your way. Okay, I can do that. But this is from a place of a man who's like really fucking lost, and he's like, fuck, why are my relationships breaking down? Why is my weight always up and down? Why do I feel such a struggle? Like, why am I never taken seriously at work? These kind of attitudes were things that I held. And Jordan Peterson comes along, I'm like, oh, okay, fucking hell. And then I buy the book, the first one. I loved it. It became my Bible. I even have the 12 Rules for Life paperweight on my desk, and I looked at it every day when that is all I need to do. And obviously, like, now, that was years ago now, and I wouldn't present that to anybody. Go like, oh, you definitely should read Jordan Peterson. But it took advantage of me in a low place, and I'm really happy that I found his work and his books. So I was in a place where I could have been sucked into the manosphere, probably. Like, I also had like issues with gambling, so like, I wouldn't have minded spending money on trades. Do you know what I mean?
It's like soft gambling.
Yeah, it's soft gambling. So like, I have a lot of empathy for the men who have been trapped by that. But what I don't have empathy for is anyone taking advantage of the vulnerable, because that is disgusting.
Well, that's and like if you look at them the way they talk, they're like, we are the way we are. We know we're not good people, but we don't give a fuck because we're just playing the game. We're playing the game.
I don't give a fuck.
We're playing the game, and it's like, but you don't realise because you're too stupid or have no forward thinking that the impact you will have on a generation of young men, that it could be too late for them to realise. I probably shouldn't have done that way. I probably shouldn't have been that way. And they'll be in their 30s, they could be, when they're all 14, 15 now. They might treat women like shit for 10 years. And then when they get to their 30s, realise, I've never had a meaningful relationship with a woman. I don't know where to find a partner. I don't know what to do. You know, I've been fucking barking at women and just thinking them as a number for the last 10 years. How the fuck do you have a conversation with one? How do you build a relationship with someone? So it's, whatever happens to the people that are driving this, who are just caught up in making money and don't give a fuck about anyone, it's the knock-on effect it'll have for everybody else.
Yeah.
Because you can empathise with people that are trapped in it and caught up in this.
But
it'll be them. It'll be them that'll suffer. It won't be the lads that, you know, they might get locked up or they might fucking whatever. Something might happen. You never know with these people, but it'll be the people that are just lost and just, you know, trip and exactly that. You know, there's how many like Jordan Peterson figures out there that, like, say Ryan Holiday does the Daily Stoic. I have a ring for the Daily Stoic. I love the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and reading all that stuff, because you're kind of going, how do I figure out how to be a good person? I found Stoic teaching and meditations by Marcus Aurelius and all these different kind of writers, Plato and Socrates, and reading all that, and thought, this is really good. This is 2,000 years old. It's good kind of.
This is where I need to be. This is going to help me. This is the backbone that I need.
But I found it online. I found it through looking through Instagram, and this person seems sound. And I was lucky that I found someone who was not mental.
Well, because you could have easily been tricked by HS Tiki or What's the antidote to that? Like, if that is the problem, then what do you think is the Manosphere antidote?
I think it's a complicated question, or it's a complicated answer. It's a complicated situation, to be honest. But I think, like, for anyone who's a parent that has a young man, you need to pay attention to what he's looking at online and have a conversation. First of all, I'd ask him, do you know who that person is? What do you think of that person? What do you think of their values? And see and gauge where they are. Because, like, the series Adolescence, have you seen Adolescence?
Of course, man.
Right, that's about this.
Yeah, no, this is it's the story, man.
And the child's like 11. There are kids out there that are 11 that are watching this, and they're getting fed into it. And I told you before,
he knows like the words incels and that.
Incels. I told you about this like fucking probably 50 podcasts ago. But like, the human brain, the frontal lobe that the prefrontal cortex that like analyzes risk in men. For women, you're fully developed in risk in terms of assessing what's going to be dangerous when you're 18 years of age. Men, it's 23. So like, that's why they think, from a hunter-gatherer perspective, if you were like a cave, people in the, hunter-gatherers, they'd send the young men out, and the young men would be able to take more risks when they're trying to take a hunt down. They'd be doing more challenging things because they just don't realise they don't see the danger in fucking, if I go after this mammoth, it's not going to gore me, or if I go after a fucking, I don't know, whatever. Or when, say for instance, in wartime, send the 18-year-olds off to war. They're not going to know how dangerous it's going to be. If you send a 30-year-old, he's going to be like, what the fuck, this is a bit mad. But the 18-year-olds are like, oh, we'll be grand, we'll be okay. Because their brain hasn't developed yet. So if you think, like, if there's kids who are 13 that are watching those videos, it'll be 10 years before their brain is fully developed to actually analyse the risk. Maybe I shouldn't watch this, because it might affect me negatively. HS Tiki Toki's 23. His 23. Brain is only starting to be fully developed now, like, in risk. So even though he's thick enough to be doing all this, and he might not be a good person, but like, he probably doesn't even know the damage he's doing because his brain's not even.
Interesting. Yeah.
You know.
I think I don't know how you. There's two sides of it. Like, so you could be a man in your 30s and being affected by the negativities that you see online and getting indoctrined without knowing. Or you could be a parent of a 14-year-old boy. I do think the solution to all of this is engaging in your surroundings and what is going on around. Just like a social club, something you're interested in, finding your thing, whether it's sport, whether it's something creative. it's meeting people, it's having things in your week that you have to go and face people and meet diverse people.
Yeah.
And I think back to when I was a young teenager, if this was going on around the time, I know it's a bit different, but like if I had a phone at 13, 14 years old and this could have tripped me up, the break of that would have been the working men's club that I grew up going to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because then you're with a group of kids your own age, and you have to actually engage in the real world, and you have to talk, you have to share, and you have to listen. And I think whatever you can do to kind of get yourself out of the phone trap and speak to people, and meet new people, that's probably the only way. It isn't finding opposing views online.
No.
Oh, it's not like, you know, because you see a lot of it, don't you? Like I kind of take a step back at the moment with like sharing anti-Manosphere poems and that. And, you know, it's great that people do that, but the antidote is not to read it and go, fucking hell, that's brilliant. It's to, okay, right, off. What's going on down the local town centre? Like, what's going on in the community centre? Is there something I've been looking forward to do for so long that I've been putting the long finger? Can I just say yes? I mean, it could be anything, but you have to get outside.
I think,
do you know what I mean?
Jimmy Carr was talking about this. His comedy can be one way or the other, but his observations and stuff like this are really pointed and kind of spot on.
Oh man!
And he talks about like how men should police other men.
Yes. And
how that happens, the way you hit the nail on the head, you should be out in the real world. If you're in a group of men and you're like in a pub or you're, I don't know, in the gym or you're going out for a walk or whatever, you're just lads hanging out. If one of your mates was like, she's a fucking bitch over there, or says something horrible about some woman, one of the lads you'd like to think would go, hang on a second, now. What the fuck is that all about? Or like, if you're out and you get rejected by a girl and your mate comes over and goes, do you know what, it's alright, don't mind her, let's go get a drink, let's just, you know, we can talk about it, we'll take our mind off it in the real world. But if you're a lad who gets rejected online, you're caught in an echo chamber with other lads that have been, and then you might go into like a fucking little forum where they're all little trolls and they're all little kind of
sharing the same fucking,
and they're all just
nonsense,
feeding into each other's nonsense. Whereas in the real world, people usually, if you have good mates, they'll either look after you or they'll check you when you act like you're a bit mental, and that's what you need. You need these real connections, you know. So anyway, we've solved the Manosphere.
There you go. Anyway,
we've solved the Manosphere.
I know, because I know you were all really excited to hear our thoughts.
Mansplaining about the Manosphere. What other poems have we got?
I'm gonna get you to read out a poem for me, mate. So like, I went back to Wolverhampton this weekend, just gone. Surprised the mother for Mother's Day.
Oh, lovely.
And I thought on the train from the airport, it was quite late to be reading, to be honest. It was probably about 11 o'clock at night on a packed train where people are coming out like home from Birmingham City Centre and getting locked, and it was a bit fucking wild. I was like, fuck, okay. So glad I did though. Open this book up. This is As If It Meant Something by the poet Steve Denehan, who's one of my favourites. And I swear to God, man, I can't wait for you to read this, because at the end of it there's a paragraph, and when I was reading it I was bopping to it like it was a UK garage track. I was like, boom, boom, okay, let's fucking go.
Oh yeah.
And like this, and the title of it is called Impossible Questions from My Daughter, which is like, it's kind of linked to what we were saying. But I'd love for you to read this poem.
Yeah, of course. Is there a title?
That is the time.
Impossible Questions from My Daughter by Steve Denehan. Usually it's favourite food or favourite animal, favourite song or favourite singer. Today it was favourite word. Impossible, a good word, is what I replied with. She had asked the question, expecting it to be easy, not expecting it to be returned to her, and so. Well, I mulled it over, I asked her, for a favourite word. She flitted from cat to happy to poop, friendship to worm to mermaid to ice cream. Her voice rising gently until, it is impossible. It was. It is. Then it came back around to me. I told her that my favourite word, the best word, is and. She gave me a look, the familiar look. Dad, You are crazy. I put my hands up, shook my head, asked her to think of and what it means, what it really means. We sat in sunny silence, the cat sleeping between us. It came to her then. It means that there is more. Exactly. We smiled at each other, comforted by the understanding that there will always be more sun rays and love and spider webs and library silence and hope and tickles and spooky stories and vapour trails and electricity pylons on trembling horizons and road trips and birthday cake and singing and questions and questions and questions and long hugs and short hugs and nothing moments and everything glances and fingertips and puddles and underwater high fives and shrieking laughter and fireworks and fireflies and...
That was Impossible Questions from My Daughter by Steve Denehan. You know, at the end, like fireflies and fireworks and birthday cake and boom and a boom and a left and a right and a boom boom. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's deadly.
Brilliant.
And it finishes with and. There's always more. That's beautiful. I really
it was
like
a
that.
really beautiful poem, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it fits in to what we're talking about, because if you're able to connect with the world in that way, you can't be susceptible to being sunk into doom scrolling nonsense where like you end up like hating people. Like if that's how you see the world, is poetry the antidote here? I don't know. Like,
well,
art that reflects the goodness of the world, I guess.
I think it helps because I think I mentioned this before when we were in the library, and I said when I walk through town I don't wear earphones, I just walk, and I do that now, not just in town. I do that in like kind of when I find when your hand goes to the phone, now I'm like, hang on, just wait, because usually I'm trying to think of material for a poem. I'm like, right, it's time to write now. Just be still and just stand in the queue and watch.
Yeah.
Like even I was in Grogan's the other week by myself. I was just finished. What did I go? I went into town. I went to see The Scratch play their album launch, and Leanne was in town. She was at a play in the gate, and I was like, right, I'll go to Grogan's. I'll have a pint. I'll wait for her to get there, and. Originally I was like, right, I got my phone and you're on your, and then I was like, do you know what am I doing? Like, I'm in Grogan's, it's a fucking great little spot. I'll just watch. So I was kind of like, right, I'm going to write a poem about something. and I was looking around, there was two girls beside me playing cards at the bar, and I was like,
love that.
Cool.
That's
unreal.
cool.
Playing fucking Switch or poker or whatever they were doing. There was a group of lads in kilts beside me. They were on, I was like, are they on a stag? What are they doing? Then I remember Scotland versus Ireland in the rugby. But then I was sitting there and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to watch and see what happens. And then this owl lad comes in, right? And he's talking to the barman and he ordered himself a pint and he's trying to sit beside me. And your man's like, do you not remember what happened last week? And your man's like, brilliant. What you mean? He's like,
that's the ears pricked.
You're Bart. And he's like, and he's like, for what? And he's like, do you not remember what you did last week? And he's like, no, I don't remember it at all. He's like, you were very bad to us here. You were shouting all you were. And he's like, did I hurt you? Did I hurt you?
Oh, bless him.
And he's like in the 60s. No, he didn't hurt us, pal. Just the way you were acting. Ah, come on, pal. Don't be like that. I'd never hurt you. No. You look like you're a Manchester United supporter, aren't you? I'd never hurt a Manchester United supporter. Your man's like, no, pal. But he's like, you'll have to wait till tomorrow. The manager's in. Oh, but I won't be here tomorrow. Ah, you wouldn't just give us a point. No, you're bad. Ah, no, you sure? Like, and he's bargaining.
Are you sure?
And like, it was like the most fucking, it's ridiculous. Like in any other place in the world, you go to, your bar, get out, the police.
Fuck off.
This fella's trying to reason with him. It got to the point where your man's like, do you know what, pal? I understand, but I wouldn't want you to go over your boss's head. And I was going, here, and he shook his hand. Right, I'll hopefully come in. I'll see you next week. And your man's like, no, you're barred. He's like, I'll see you later, pal. Right, no, he goes. I was like, I'm so happy I witnessed that. So happy I witnessed that.
That's brilliant.
If I had him on my phone, I wouldn't have paid attention.
You wouldn't have been paying attention.
It's like when you're looking down, you're never looking up. You're never looking around what's actually going on.
Yeah, that's true, man.
So you need to be looking around.
Look around you.
Writing poems.
Yeah.
Looking for sources. Sucking the juices of life and putting it into your poems.
Well, speaking of poetry to help someone in need, we have another agony aunt problem.
Oh, we do, yeah. We have a serious one.
Yeah, man. The most serious one.
The most serious one. The agony aunt, yeah. Where was she this week? She was in the... What are you laughing for?
I don't know what's going on.
It's a serious conversation.
Hello, man.
I had a bit of time off, so I went to the Leisureplex.
Love the place.
I went to the Leisureplex. And there was a crowd in the Leisureplex. Anyone who's never been to a Leisureplex before, there's bowling and there's pool tables.
Everything you want.
There's a zoo for the kids to be thrown into. And there was a commotion over at the bowling alley. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? So I went over. Strike. Strike. She had a fucking one of them fancy leather gloves on. And she was just throwing balls.
She was a bowler.
She was throwing balls down the lane. And I was hitting strikes. And do you know who it was? It was the agony aunt.
No way.
It was the agony aunt, yeah.
Jesus.
So I asked her, I said, look, we have a poem. We need you to write a poem for us. There's a problem. There's a problem here. And this is the problem.
The problem is, you ever miss someone, but not in a dramatic way? Just like a random thought that hits you when you hear a song or see something they'd like.
It's a pretty good one.
Wow, it's pretty fucking...
It's a pretty good one. So I said to her, we're going to need a poem off you. She went, right, take a seat over there. And when you hear the next strike, you know the way the little men go fucking... the little balls dancing.
Yeah.
When you see them, go over to where you retrieve the balls. It's grand. She throws a fucking... hits another strike, another cheer from the crowd. And I was like, fucking hell is she doing? She's bowling a perfect game. I go over to retrieve her ball. And in the ball was a scroll. And in the scroll was a poem.
Fucking hell.
And this poem is what I pulled out of it. It's called Perfume. I was out walking the other day and someone strolled past wearing your perfume. And as the scent hit my nostrils, my mind was filled with memories of your laughter, of the fights, the I'm sorries and are we all right. Mostly little things. The cracks at the end of your smile that piled up into a collection of creases. I stopped mid-stride, taking you in. But as the scent faded on the breeze, you were carried off away.
That was Perfume by the Agony Aunt.
What perfume do you think she wears?
Carolina Herrera, Bad Girl.
Chanel number 5. She's a sophisticated Bior. Only the best for our agony aunt. Do you know? She wouldn't be wearing Britney.
It was either Versace red jeans or something a bit more
She's a bit too cultured for Britney Spears. You know that perfume?
Yeah.
Or fucking Dupe.
Dupe.
A bit of Jean-Paul Gaultier maybe, you never know.
Some of those, they do stand the test of time, these scents.
Cool Waters, Davidoff.
Cool Water is fucking lovely. It's not, but it smells so good that like you can't. Yeah, but when you smell it, you're like, oh yeah, you can't. But it's still lovely.
It's lovely.
It's lovely. Yeah. Hugo Boss is lovely. Boss. You know, he's the one that comes. It's the one in motion. It was a little silver ball. And you used to squeeze.
I used to have Hugo Boss Energized. Do you remember that one?
I never had Energized.
It was like a fucking. It was like a cylinder. It was like a little kind of glass, but you could see it. Very nice it was. And then a pack of Rabanne 1 million as well.
Oh, 1 million. Everyone had the 1 million.
1 million. Yeah.
I remember when I was about 19, my granddad bought me a bottle of Ed Hardy.
Oh, yeah.
And you know the scene in Anchorman when they get the tigers,
the Sex Panther,
yeah, the head of this aftershave
roars.
Was a fucking lion,
yeah.
I was like, he used to take off the lion head, You know what it smelled so good that when I realised it was giving me hives, I didn't stop. Because I was an idiot and I was like, yeah, well, listen, I'll spray it and I'll get hives, yeah, but it's okay.
Breaking out in a fucking rash.
The rash comes, and I used to always get the rash, but it smelled so fucking good, I didn't care.
It's worth the rash.
Yeah.
Ed Hardy, it's worth the rash.
It's worth the rash. Ed Hardy. Do you ever have an Ed Hardy t-shirt?
I think...
I had a few.
I think I had an Ed Hardy t-shirt.
You would have.
Yeah, probably.
Paired that with a pair of Doc Martens when you were younger.
Something probably, something of that name, yeah. My nanny used to have the Lily of the Valley perfume. If you've ever...
No.
It's a very pungent... It smells like what an old woman smells like. That's what you think it is.
Lily of the Valley?
The Lily of the Valley perfume. And you get it sometimes. And like, there's a thing with the scent, like a sense of smell, that it's actually really like, closely associated with the part of your brain that processes memory. So if you smell certain things, will bring you back to that kind of moment. So like cooking or...
We are excited that this year we were both involved in something quite fun, actually. One of our favourite poets, Pat Ingoldsby, who passed last year, I believe. There is a celebration spoken word album coming out by Lewin Press, who have put it together, and we were lucky enough to be asked to be on it, as well as Steve Maguire, Imelda May, Jan Brereton, and some really talented people have all taken a poem and done their version. So we're going to end the show with the voice of Pat himself, with the poem "Words to the Virus," with words to the virus that found me in 1942. So when the full album gets released, we'll let everybody know. I can't wait to hear it. It might be on tour with Imelda May this year. Who knows?
Lewin Press I heard is buying a Venga bus, and they're going to put us all on it.
Yeah,
all 20 of us or whatever it is. We're going on tour, baby.
Yeah, let's go
on a world tour of North Dublin.
Isn't it mad? Isn't life mad?
Life is mad
when you engage with it.
Life is mad when you've got poetry around.
Leon, thanks for your time.
Always a pleasure, Ryan. Bye.
All right. See you later, Ron. See you next week.
See you in the poet sphere.
Aye.
How did you find me? How in the name of God did you find me? A tiny infant down in the heart of old Malahide village, in the little house beside the coal yard. Were you looking for me or what? Jesus, I was only just born. I knew nothing at all. The name they put on you was bigger than me. Infantile paralysis. That's what they called you. You went around the place paralysing babies, and you found me down there in that beautiful place, beside the village green, looking over to the island, looking out to sea. You came into me, and you made me cry. What time did you come in? What day was it? 'Cause I don't know. And what brought you down that way in 1942? Which way did you come? Was it down New Street past Bertie Boyle's, or did you come around from the back strand, under the railway arch past Leslie Riley's? Was the tide full in? I don't know that either. Why did you go past Annie Daniels' house and come into ours? There was me and Michael, Ma and Da. Why did you come into me? Did I make a sound as you were going past? Was that the way it happened? Was the wireless on? What could you hear? I think it was a cowardly thing that you did to take the life away from my arm and put a hidden, slow wasting in my legs. It was a cowardly thing indeed. "50 years on, I'm still finding the damage of you. 50 years on, you find new tears in me. Are you still alive? Are you still doing your virus stuff? Are you still alive, or does something wipe you out? I'd like to know your name. Mine is Pat. I played soccer in spite of you, and I was good.